Chateau communication in Miss Mary's office, Monday morning in the office. It was a bright Monday morning, and Miss Mary entered her office with a cup of coffee in her hand. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air as she smiled at her colleagues. "Good morning, everyone," she said cheerfully. "Good morning, Miss Mary," the team replied in unison. Mary was a marketing manager at a small but fast-growing company in London. Her team included people from different countries: Lynn from Vietnam, Raj from India, and Yuki from Japan. The office was a mix of cultures, and English was the language that connected everyone. Mary always believed that good communication was the heart of teamwork. Every Monday, she liked to start the week with a short chat to motivate her team. "How was your weekend?" she asked. Lynn replied with a big smile. "It was great, Ms. Mary. I went hiking with my friends." Raj laughed and said, "I didn't do anything special. I just stayed home and watched movies." Mary nodded. "That sounds relaxing." "Okay, team, let's make this week a productive one. Remember, communication is the key to success. Vocabulary, aroma, pleasant smell, unison, together, productive, useful and effective, success, achievement." The meeting about communication. Later that morning, the team gathered in the meeting room. The topic on the agenda was improving communication in the office. Mary stood in front of a whiteboard. "Sometimes," she began, "we face problems not because we're not talented, but because we don't communicate clearly." She wrote 3 phrases on the board: listen actively, speak clearly, be respectful. When we listen actively, Mary explained, we pay attention to what others say instead of just waiting to speak. When we speak clearly, we help others understand us. And respect makes everyone feel valued. Lynn nodded thoughtfully. "I think that's true. Sometimes I write emails too quickly and people misunderstand me." Raj agreed. "Yes, tone is important too. Sometimes I sound too direct when I don't mean to." Mary smiled. "Exactly. Communication isn't only about words. It's about how we make others feel." Vocabulary. Agenda. List of topics: talented, skilled, valued, appreciated, tone, attitude or feeling in words. 2, or the email problem. The next day, Lynn faced a problem. She received an email from a client named Mr. Thomas. The message said, "We are disappointed with your last campaign. Please explain." Lynn's heart sank. She had worked hard on that campaign and didn't understand why the client was unhappy. She knocked on Mary's door. "Ms. Mary, can I talk to you for a moment?" "Of course, Lynn." "Come in. What's the matter?" Lynn showed her the email. "I think Mr. Thomas is angry, but I'm not sure what went wrong." Mary read the email carefully and said calmly, His message sounds serious, but we shouldn't panic. Maybe he just wants clarification. Let's write a polite and professional reply." She helped Lynn draft a response. "Dear Mr. Thomas, thank you for your message. We appreciate your feedback. Could you please share more details about your concerns? We will review the campaign and make improvements where needed. Best regards, Lynn." Lynn sent the email and waited nervously. 2 hours later, a new message arrived. "Thank you, Lynn. We just wanted to adjust the target audience. The campaign looks great otherwise." Lynn smiled with relief. "He wasn't angry after all. He just wanted a small change." Mary nodded. "See? Clear and polite communication can solve many problems. Vocabulary: disappointed, unhappy, clarification, explanation, polite, respectful and kind, relief, feeling of comfort after worry, a visit from an old friend." That evening, Mary met her old friend Sarah for coffee. Sarah was an accountant for a multinational company called Global Tech. They hadn't seen each other for months. "Hi, Sarah." "How's work?" Mary asked. "Busy as always," Sarah said with a laugh. "We have offices in 10 countries. Everyone speaks English, but communication can be challenging sometimes." "I can imagine," said Mary. "Different cultures, different ways of speaking." Sarah nodded. "Exactly. Sometimes people misunderstand because a simple phrase can mean different things in different cultures. For example, when I say, 'That's interesting,' my British colleague thinks I'm being polite, but my American coworker thinks I really like the idea." Mary laughed. So communication is also about understanding cultures. Yes, said Sarah. At Global Tech, we even have a training course called Cross-Cultural Communication. It helps us learn how to work together more smoothly. Vocabulary, accountant. A person who manages money, multinational, operating in many countries, challenging, difficult but rewarding, cross-cultural, between different cultures. The workshop. The next week, inspired by Sarah's story, Mary decided to organize a communication workshop for her team. She called it English for Better Communication at Work. Today, she said at the start, we'll practice how to write professional emails, how to give feedback, and how to express disagreement politely. The team practiced in pairs. Lynn and Raj acted out a situation where one person disagreed with the other. Raj, I think we should post the campaign on social media every day. Lynn, I see your point, but I'm concerned that posting too often might annoy our followers. Mary smiled. Good job, Lynn. You disagreed politely and gave a reason. That's effective communication. Next, they practiced writing short, clear emails. Mary showed examples. Checkmark. Could you please confirm the meeting time? Thank you for your quick response. Why didn't you reply yet? That's too direct. At the end of the workshop, Mary said, remember, communication is not about being perfect in English. It's about being clear, kind, and professional. Vocabulary, feedback, advice about work, concern, worry, follower, person who follows online, confirm, make sure of something. The results, over the next few months, things improved in the office. Emails became clearer, meetings were more productive, and the atmosphere was positive. One day, the company's CEO visited Mary's team. Mary, he said, I've noticed great progress in your department. The clients are happier and your team works very well together. Mary smiled proudly. Thank you, sir. We've focused on improving communication. It really makes a difference. After the CEO left, Mary turned to her team. I'm proud of all of you. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about connecting. The team clapped and cheered. Lynn said, Thank you, Miss Mary. Now I feel more confident speaking and writing in English. Raj added with a grin, and I've learned how not to sound too direct. Everyone laughed. The office was filled with warmth and understanding. Vocabulary, atmosphere, mood or feeling, progress, improvement, department, section of a company, confident, sure of yourself. Key expressions and phrases. Here are some useful expressions from Ms. Mary's story that you can use in your own workplace. Expression meaning example. Good morning, team. Greeting your colleagues. Good morning, team. Let's start the day strong. Could you please clarify? Asking for more information. Could you please clarify what you mean by that? Thank you for your feedback. Responding politely. Thank you for your feedback on my report. I see your point, but disagreeing politely. I see your point, but we might try another approach. Let's make this week productive. Motivating others. Let's make this week productive and positive. The lesson at the end of the month, Mary reflected on everything that had happened. She realized that effective communication was more than just speaking English well. It was about listening, empathy, and respect. She wrote in her journal, communication builds bridges between people. When we listen carefully and speak kindly, we don't just share information, we create understanding. And with that thought, Miss Mary smiled, closed her notebook, and looked around her busy, friendly office, a place where communication truly connected everyone. Final takeaway for learners. Learning English through stories helps you understand not just vocabulary, but real-life communication. From Ms. Mary's office, we learned that effective communication means being clear, polite, and culturally aware.